Hey everyone, today we have a quick unclogging to do here on this section of road. Right here you can see how the road is very rocky, and it's because water passing over the top of it has removed all the soil and sand, just leaving the bigger rocks behind. Over here in this drainage ditch, you can see all the grass pushed over towards the road. This was a big flow of water because of a clogged culvert pipe. Partially because of the clogged culvert pipe. The amount of water going through here was a lot. I personally don't think this culvert could even take half of what was going through here. It's a pretty big stream bed. Take a look at this. You can see all the leaves right here caught around the trees. A lot of water was blasting through here. Many inches of water going over the road. It looks like we have a 18-inch, maybe a 2-foot pipe right here. This stream bed, you can tell a lot of things, a lot of water comes down this. There's debris, other things wrapped around trees. Over here's where it'll come out. This nice plunge pool. The water's very, very clear. I see lots of water skimmers on the surface of the water. So let's go ahead and set camera number 2 up down here in the water. All right, everyone, camera number 2 is going. I don't think the tripod will get knocked over because the blast will be in front of it. Any debris coming by. Don't think that's gonna be a problem. Let's see. Plus I'll be over here watching it, and it's a waterproof camera, so that's okay. Take a look at those mushrooms. Those look awesome. Nice. Let's get down here, remove this debris, and there's an endless supply of debris. It'll get plugged up again very quickly during the next storm. Oh wow, look. There's the last culvert pipe they probably pulled out a year ago. I hate when they leave plastic culvert pipes to just stay here in the wilderness. Metal ones are okay because that'll just degrade back into the environment without the microplastics. That water's freezing. It might be May 6th, 2024, but there's still some snow patches in the woods. So this water's very cold. At least some of this water's coming from snow melt. All right, we got that thing open. That piece right there won't clog it. Threw that piece up there because it was kind of heavy. Didn't want that to not come out the other side. It would have eventually come out during the next blast, but people in the comments like to complain about me throwing things through. Because even if it did get bottomed out in there, the next storm would have taken it away. We just didn't have much water pressure to deal with. Take a look inside. This culvert's already failing. Look up top. See that? Right in the middle of the road. And this culvert is more than the code. They only have to be buried half their diameter deep in the road. This is like twice its diameter, so a lot. Even though it's buried so deep, it's still getting crushed by the frost heaving. Maybe a giant truck. Look at this. It looks like this side may be a little deeper. Here's what this side looked like before we did anything. And here's what it looks like now. That water's no longer crystal clear. We made it temporarily nasty. This is a nice little pond with the water skimmers and everything. Got some debris holding up this pond. Looks like this pond is permanent. Looks like, just looking at it, the bottom of it is all muddy. Doesn't look like it dries up on a typical year. Back here you can tell was logged maybe last year, 2 years tops. Nice. Here's what the entrance of the pipe looked like before we did anything. And here's what it looks like now. That was a nice quick unclogging. Now without that debris, maybe the road won't flood as bad next time. Camera number 2 off. And I hope today's video was interesting, everyone. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Look at that, a mulberry bush is starting to grow. Growing some leaves. Before I get back in the truck, let me show you this. This is where all that water was being diverted when the pipe was clogged. Down here. Don't even know if it was connecting back to the same stream or not. Not sure. Right here, you can tell this whole area of road was flooded all the way back to the pipe. Alright everyone, on this section of road, this is kind of surprising. See that in the road? It's bear poop. I don't see bears too often out here in the wilderness. I wonder what the bear's been eating. Because there's a lot of poop. Do you think it's multiple bears together? Or just one? Because there's poop there. Right here in the middle of the road, another gigantic chunk of it. Here's a fallen tree. Everyone's been driving around it. Here's another bear poop. Sometimes you see this here and there, but there's a lot of it. Is it all from one bear, you think? Here's a gigantic piece of it. Huge. And an even bigger one right here on the side. That is huge. End to end, that pile is like probably 18 inches. That bear's been eating a lot. Right here's a tree blocking a good amount of the road. It's very early in the year. They haven't brought heavy equipment out yet to clear this kind of stuff. Go around that with caution. Could easily tip over. I'm very close to the edge. This is kind of cool. This area, a couple years ago, I got out to try to unclog it. It was not successful at all. I want to see what has come of it now. I remember this one. Pipe's right here. I was able to find this end of the pipe, but never the other end. Look at the size of that hole right there. You can tell it's been pouring down. Ouch. The pricker bush lifted my shirt and then dragged through it. Ow, that thing's tiny. Look at that. It's an 18-inch pipe. Didn't expect to find something that small out here. Let's go see the other side. I mainly stopped because this is super duper cool what the beavers did. Look at they ate all the bark off the bases of the trees they could reach. Because they were hungry. Those trees are likely to die now. Well, I know why I couldn't find it now. It was up to the road and crossing the road. Look at that, the pipe was 4 feet under the water. Never would have found that. Even if I did, it would have been dangerous to get anywhere near it. Look at that. So this was a beaver pond. It's amazing, it's not even flowing now. But this is cool, look at this. Wasn't a beaver pond for very long, and it shows something else. You can see watermarks, maybe a little bit of nibbling. They don't like evergreens at all, that tastes bad. But other things, see that? Wait a second. Wait a second. It might not be the beavers. It might not be the beavers. Those shavings are too recent. That's cool. Might be deer trying to lose their antlers against it, maybe? Is that a possibility? Yeah, if that was beavers, they would have chewed that stuff straight through. That's not even through. From up by the road, I thought these trees were all girdled. Yeah, that's not the beaver. You see, they got this stuff. See, look how easy that comes off. I can make those marks on my hand. Yeah, this is just something scratching a lot. I think it's probably deer or moose. That'd be kind of cool to find some antlers in a place like this. It looks very recent, the scratch marks. Is this the time of year they scratch them off? Cool. That'd be cool to find a piece of antler out here. Not seeing anything though. Got some moose poop. It's amazing there's no water here actually, compared to how much there was. It's been raining a lot lately. Recently had the spring thaw. Why is there no water? Maybe there was another blockage at another pipe sending it down here, because that was an insane amount of water. I know very little about when deer lose their antlers. This might also be them trying to scratch the velvet off. Does anyone know what time of year that would be for the white-tailed deer? Alright everyone, I'm going to stop at this culvert. There's no evidence of anything going over the top. This plastic pipe might just last a little bit of time. It's buried very deep in the ground. It's a pretty big stream bed, but no evidence of it getting overwhelmed. I stopped here because I saw those sticks right there. I thought were maybe into it. Apparently not. Doesn't look like anything is actually blocking it. Nope, nothing. Nothing at all. Alright everyone, this section of road I just went down was pretty muddy, but on this hill right here, going up, this is where I got stuck, I think, 3 years ago. 19 hours in the mud. Couldn't shut the car off because the tailpipe was underneath the mud and it would have gone in there and hardened if I shut it off. Somewhere right here is where I got stuck. See where this water is right here, trickling out of the ground? It was very muddy, and yeah, this is where I got stuck, exactly where I got stuck. Are any of the ruts still in the road? Well, this is exactly where it happened. There's still active groundwater there. Yeah, this thing didn't even hesitate getting stuck. It's not nearly as bad as it was, but I have a winch on this truck, and I think the main reason I got stuck there with the old car is because of a clearance issue. Just completely bottomed out. And right here to the left is an area where there was frogs. Yeah. That was the entertainment. Oh, and I saw one jump in. That was the entertainment. Walk down there and see the frogs. I remember at night, the mud started drying up a little bit. There was a layer of ice on that little frog pond. Come day, the frogs were back out again. They bounce in and out of hibernation that time of year. Check out that dust. Awesome. Doesn't take long of the sun hitting the road to do this. It was just raining last night. Out here on this logging road, it looks like this grader's probably dead. Doesn't look like that's moved in a bit. Not super long. There's not trees growing up in between it or anything, but not a spot of shininess on the chains. Looks like it's been there for a... Let's look. Maybe only a year. Maybe 2 years. There's a bit of accumulation on parts of it, like leaves. It's got a bunch of broken windows. Right here you can tell the road's been washing out a bit. I drove down here because sometimes the culverts are plugged. I guess not today. There's a small culvert right here. Completely open. And there's a larger one, maybe even two, right here. No, it's 3 of them, and they're open. Look at that. It's not a beaver. I think we got a muskrat. And we got a sinkhole. Look at that. Got a little sinkhole right there. You don't see muskrats too much around here. Every now and then I come across them. Muskrats build lodges just like beavers. Smaller lodges though, sometimes made out of grass like that, completely made out of grass. Like, I remember when I visited the grasslands of South Dakota, lots of muskrats. They build lodges with the grass because there's no trees. Cool thing about muskrats is they get along very good with beavers. They help the beavers build dams, and the beavers they will let the muskrat live inside the big beaver lodge with them. Then the muskrats don't have to build a small lodge. That's what's cool about the beavers. Now, I'm not even seeing a culvert pipe here. The water's not unusually high. All the trees around the edges are dead. They've been in the water a long time, long enough that the cattails and stuff are growing. But you notice the cattails are only in this small area, meaning that's where it's usually wet. Around the edge, that might be a little bit new. New as in couple years old, because I don't see grass under the water. That's already died. And you take a look at this sinkhole, it actually is a little worse right there. It's got to be a culvert. No, not a culvert. I'm amazed. Where is the culvert? Is there even one here? There might not even be one here. There's a lot of iron oxidizing bacteria down here. That's what this is. No, I'm amazed there's not culvert. It looks like this pond doesn't have a pipe. So that might just be water or a frost heave right here is what caused that, likely. Yeah, this is where the water goes. Just goes down the ditch to the next pipe. They even built a little dam right there. The road crews built that. Interesting. This mud must have been really bad a week ago. You can see a tractor trailer drove through here. Am I gonna bottom out at all? No, but it's close. Oh my gosh, going around the corner. Look what's in the road. There's a moose and another moose off to the side back there. Look at that. They're both looking at me. Just took a picture of them. Let's see how close we can get before they start running. There they go. They're starting to run. Oh, I'm zoomed in a lot. Oh, there they go. Oh, look at this big sinkhole. Wow, that's a big sinkhole. This is a culvert that I have warned about for like 5 years. I even showed it last year. Oh wow, look at them. Look how cute they are. That's a beautiful picture. Let's get that. Oh, that's nice. Mama and baby. That's a perfect picture of them both looking at me. I want to get out and look at this culvert. Oh, they got scared and they ran in the woods. It's okay, we're gonna get out for a second and take a look at what's going on here. Stepping out, first thing I see, look at all the sand right here. This entire area of road was underwater, rushing a lot. Got their moose tracks there. All right, let's go take a look at what's going on. So the moose were investigating this big hole. See, the whole culvert is sunken right there. It looks like they did a temporary repair, but continuing to sink. So like 5 years ago, I first recorded this culvert. The entire bottom of the pipe is peeled up inside, and this is what ends up happening. Completely rusted out. These metal pipes like this are a great thing. They last a good 30-40 years, but that 30-40 years has come and gone. What's happening now is the bottom of the pipe's gone. It has rusted out, and as water passing through it, it just sucks in the... Let's get a look at it. Look how beautiful this is. Turning bright red, getting ready to grow leaves. So what probably happened is this collapsed, probably temporarily blocked the pipe, I'm assuming, or it just got very, very overwhelmed, and that's why it went over the road. Thankfully, I got the big high boots on right now. This water's pretty clean. Yeah, look at this. The bottom of the pipe's peeled up. I don't know if that's showing up on camera or not, but there's like a foot gap underneath it. See, it looks fine looking in, but the bottom's missing, and that's where all that soil's getting sucked underneath and sent through. All right, everyone. Now we're gonna go down the road a little bit and visit an angry beaver swamp. This is a former beaver swamp. It was a former beaver swamp anyways. Are the beavers back? They were relocated last year. They like clogging this pipe. I'm gonna pull up alongside and take a look. I want to get out and take a look at this. Beautiful swamp. Nice cedar trees. There's always lots of frogs around here. So where's the pipe? Here it is. The grate is off it for some reason. Probably was getting clogged too easily, but it is not clogged at the moment. I guess the beavers are still gone. It just looked a little elevated over there, but I guess not. Actually, it is a little higher than normal. What I'm observing right now is, see how slow it's entering it? The pipe's messed up from the winter. So right here, see that cracking? It got slightly lifted up in a frost heave. So this end of the pipe is now higher than that end, meaning that pond now has extra depth. I've done lots of uncloggings at this location, and I literally have a video titled Unclogging Culvert While Angry Beaver Watches. Yeah, there was a beaver here that kept smacking its tail against the water trying to scare me away. I just passed a whole bunch of them, but on this road, you see this log here? Every time there's a bunch of big potholes or frost heaving like this, oh, this is a culvert ripped out of the ground by frost heaving. Right here's a couple timbers. They'll put timbers that are about the size of a railroad tie in the ground when there's muddy areas, and they'll cover it up. But the thing is, frost heaving brings that to the surface, creating awful bumps. Yeah, there was a couple more logs right there. When the log truck runs that over, logs fall off the truck. oftentimes the logs are only put on there with one cable, or out here, a lot of the log trucks don't even secure their loads until they get to the main road, because they let it shift around a little bit, get a little tighter, then they do it on the road. I've witnessed a lot of times. Look at this, 3 logs fell off at the same time. There's another one. Yeah, don't drive too close to a log truck. They can fall out, even on the main road when they're supposedly well secured. The ones from the middle can still slip out over big bumps. Yeah, this section of road's bad. This was a giant mud hole not too long ago. Mud season's just about done though. It's all hardening. Got a lot of logs right here that they're starting to stockpile. The roads are a little bit too soft for the trucks to come in here. They'll sink pretty bad, so they're letting a bit build up, and they'll send the trucks in here in a few weeks when the roads get a little more hardened. Can you tell how big this pile is? Let me get a little closer to it. That's a massive pile. 12 feet maybe. This is the most birds I've ever seen today. There's always groups of birds in the road today. Keep almost running them over because they don't move very quickly and they blend in. I think they're sparrows. There's also a bunch of really small ones that are red. I've never seen those before. They're probably migrating through the area. There's a lot of them right now. A lot more logs. They had it separated. On the left is birch. On the right here is balsam fir. This pile, I see some aspen in there. I think that's all aspen, yep. To the left we got more balsam fir. On the right is a bunch of birch. The left is birch again. Right here is aspen. And it looks like everything else I can see in sight is balsam fir. Yeah, there's piles as far as the eye can see. Look down there. It's a lot of logs. Sometimes in my comments I'll get a comment asking me, why do the logging companies take down so many unnecessary trees? I drive by my sawmill near my house all the time, and there's giant piles that just sit there for a long time and doesn't seem like they're doing anything with them. In the summer months they have sprinklers going, watering logs. Why are they wasting all these resources? Well, the reason they're watering those logs at the sawmill is to keep them wet and fresh so they can go into the sawmill as if they were fresh cuts. Why do they stockpile so much of it? You're seeing it right now. During mud season, those sawmills can't get logs because the roads are too soft and the log trucks would get stuck in the mud. So this time of year, they're burning through those stockpiles, making it into lumber. And once that's pretty depleted by the end of mud season, look at this big stockpile that'll refill the sawmill's yard. Everything you're driving by, none of this is lumber. Lumber is what they usually will stockpile. They usually use white pine. Larger hardwoods will be used for better stuff like furniture or specialty buildings. Everything here you're seeing is going to be pulpwood, turned into pressboard, chipboard, paper, toilet paper. That kind of stuff is what they're making right here. We're in northern Maine right now, but all this stuff is shipped to a sawmill in Quebec because we're very close to the border. All right, everyone, we're coming up to a really long bridge. This is the bridge that I camped underneath last winter. Yep. When this river was frozen, I set a tent up on it. The river's actually running fairly low right now. All right, I'm gonna park somewhere. We're gonna go underneath this because I left a trail camera here last fall. I'm hoping it did what I wanted. It's supposed to be making a little video clip every 12 hours since the fall. So we should have a good time lapse of the river freezing over, the snow forming, snow melting, the ice on the river breaking up, Although when a river defrosts, the ice usually breaks up really quickly all at once, so it's unlikely we'll have a video of it actually breaking, but it'll be a cool time lapse. We gotta go get that. I'm gonna park on the other side because that's where the camera is. I just wanna peek. Can I see it? I know where it is, but it's very well camouflaged. I doubt I'll even be able to see the camera. It's somewhere down there on one of those trees. It should be far enough up the bank that this thing wouldn't have flooded anywhere near it. Peeking on down. We'll have to investigate. Go look for it. Stepping on out, I hear a lot of happy chirping birds. See a bunch of birds flying around out there in the woods. Still got some snow. That's cool to see now that we're getting into the middle of May. All right, we gotta walk down. There's a nice little trail here that fishermen use. This river here is a beautiful spot for rafting, and it's calm enough that it freezes really thick, and snowmobilers will use it. So right here's a trail. A little trickling stream. So sometimes the river comes all the way up here. That's why trees don't grow. They get knocked over. These trees are very resilient. They can get completely knocked over and they'll stand back up. Very wet and marshy. Yep, we were camping here. This would be a nice place to go rafting. Nice and calm. I've also thought in the past, and this would be the time of year to do it, maybe next spring. It'll be kind of nice to camp on one of these little islands. Just got to check the forecast and make sure it won't go underwater, because the grass is all pushed over. There's little sandy beaches like that right up here. You see that? There's an island right there. It's got some bushes, a lot of sand, but you see the water running behind it? That proves it's an island. It's got sand, bushes, some trees on it. Actually, those trees are on the land, but it does have bushes. Now, where's my camera? I see it. There it is. Woo! Ah, I forgot my knife. I think I can use a sharp rock to break that tie, though. Then, hopefully, we have a good time lapse of this right here freezing up. Yeah, there's like a lot of shale and stuff. We use that as a knife to cut the camera down. Yep, we did a good job. The grass is not pushed over up here. It doesn't look like the spring thaw went any further than here. So it was a good 6 feet, maybe 8 feet higher. But up here, probably looking at close to 14 feet in water increase. Let's see if my little knife works. I didn't weaken it enough. The zip tie just came undone, but all good. Is it still active and filming? Yep, it still has power. And look at this. There's a spider friend inside the camera. What do we got here? Why'd they connect these two barrels? Oh, they filled it with concrete. Interesting. Another sinkhole. That culvert's probably rusted out. Could just be frost heaving though. This section of road's in pretty bad shape. Yeah, pretty bad. It's not that muddy Like, I'm not in four-wheel drive. I am slipping a little bit, but this looks like it would have been way worse a couple days ago when it was raining. All right, we are stuck in the mud. We gotta try to get out with the winch now. Bad angle. Hopefully it's okay. Come on. Please don't break. Come on. There we go. Trying to get up onto the edge where it's higher, because we're bottomed out. Doing okay. Nice. I think I can get out now on my own power. We gotta drive through this fast on the way back. Oops. Try backing up a little bit. Carefully. Now, oops. I'm just pulling myself in a bad direction. Mosquito. I actually have a lot of room. I'm gonna let it keep pulling me off to the side. I'm not gonna touch the gas because I'm just digging holes. Really easily I'll touch the gas. This ain't good. Getting somewhere. We might be free. It's possible I'm free. Alright, if I'm not free, some of those tree stumps on the other side look big enough where this won't slip off. Let's try to get out. Well, the winch saved me again. I can see underneath the whole vehicle. It's not stuck now. So I have rugged tires, but when you bottom out, it's not really much of a help. Let's get going. Go, 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 go. Come on, there's no trees around here. That'd be horrible to get stuck right here. All right, we're good. On the way back, I have to gun it through that. Don't want to get stuck again. I'm gonna go through this real fast. Come on, come on. I do enjoy driving through mud. That mud was really stinky. There's a lot of rotten junk in that. And I was real bottomed out in that. Log in the middle of the road, they fall off the truck sometimes. That mud, I sunk deep in that. I have well over a foot of clearance. I think it's like 14 inches and got stuck. Not terrible though. Here's a culvert. Real bad road. Real bad road. The mosquitoes are obsessed with the car. See them all over the hood? All right, we gotta gun this now pretty quickly so we don't get stuck. Ooh, we went up on top of it. Ooh. Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah. Here we go. gonna get stuck there, but ooh. Oh, we're safe now. We're safe. Good. Oh, I thought I was gonna get stuck. I'm also amazed it didn't pull me into the same rut I got stuck in. I was able to drive right up on top of it, which was awesome. Yeah, that worked out nice. Just blasted through this mud, throwing stuff everywhere. Right here, I thought I couldn't control which way I was moving. And I almost got dragged into that ditch. At least there would have been trees. So, yeah, I'm not going down this road again. Didn't bottom out anywhere here. I wanted that on camera in case I got stuck again. That was probably close to bottoming out. And right there's where I almost lost control. I cannot express how bad this area smells from driving through that mud. I bet there's so much moose poop mixed into this. That's what it smells like. This whole area is gross. And moose poop smells horrible when it's been sitting in water. There's so much mud caked on the undercarriage and all over the sides from spinning the wheels. My whole truck smells like a moose's butt crack. Hear that? I'm throwing so much mud that's stuck on the wheels still. Stinks so bad. And it's also all over my big high boots. I gotta find a river to wash out at. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, there's a moose. Do you see it? You may have seen it running. Got 2 more moose. There they go. Today's been a good night for moose. Must have seen at least 10 of them this evening. It's good to see. Is this another one? No, it's a tree. Oh, we got another moose. Shut the lights down so it can maybe run away. There it goes, it ran away. Okay. I gotta find a detour, and I think there is thankfully one. You see that right there? Those ruts? So much water went through this. I can't make it through that. I gotta carefully turn around. And I gotta find a different way. I'm not super duper disappointed that this road's blocked because Part of me is suspecting this is a road I was on last year. It just feels familiar, not 100%. It feels like a road that the Google map took me down last year, and there's a bridge where the deck is just missing. Not even a barricade, it's just something stupid you could fall through if you weren't paying attention. Good morning, everyone. Last night I actually slept awesome compared to the night before. Went to bed at like midnight, got almost 10 hours of sleep. That was awesome. I haven't been sleeping well, so today's gonna be a good day after that. Looking out at the road, there's only one set of new tire tracks in that 10 hours. Only one person drove by in the middle of the night. Looking over on the side, at least one moose walked by me in the middle of the night because they take the road, it's easier. Let's get back on the road. We got a big sinkhole to show you guys in a little bit. So I just pulled over here on the side of the road and slept here. Couldn't find a really good spot to tuck myself away, but it's a very wide section of road, and oh boy, oh that's awful. Starting the engine, if you saw, yesterday I drove through deep mud that was mixed with moose poop. Oh, I can smell that, just the wind that the engine's making right now. It's terrible. It's still wet underneath the car, I guess. It smells like really fermented manure. Alright, let's get back on the road. Now these videos, people might think I'm just driving 5 minutes here and there, filming these things, but these roads are very, very long. The car yesterday recorded I was on the road over 10 hours, averaging 22 miles an hour, because these roads are horrible. You can't drive very fast on them at all. That's about 31 kilometers an hour, and we got to keep it very slow like that on these roads because you'll break things otherwise. See, look at this. You can probably tell by my hood. The whole truck is covered in mud. Mud splatter all over the sides of it, all over the side windows, because I was spinning the wheels quite a bit yesterday. Got stuck a few times yesterday. Once bad enough I had to get the winch out because we were completely bottomed out in the muck, and that's why underneath the vehicle it's like having manure caked on underneath. So I'm gonna have to power wash that at some point. On muddy trips like this during the spring thaw, wouldn't be surprised if I'm bringing home hundreds of pounds of mud. These roads are actually in very good shape. You just got to avoid a few of the potholes. Like this stretch here, it's super duper smooth. I'm able to go 50 or 80 kilometers an hour now. Got to slow it down a little bit here. Although I don't think anyone's working today. It is a weekend. This truck right here is really cool. I want to turn around and get a shot of this thing. It's just really, really old. Yeah, this truck here is just super duper old. It's cool. It actually makes a good picture too. If I zoom into it a little bit, the logs in the background. Still got some snow right here. The shady areas. Look at all these potholes. Alright, here we come to what looks like one of the biggest sinkholes I've ever seen out on the logging roads. I didn't look at it last night because it was very dark. I mainly didn't look at it because I was very tired. I do have very bright lights, but I want to get out and take a look at this sinkhole. It's a big one. And I'm noticing on the sides, they might be planning to build a bridge. Those are brand new I-beams. Look at that. It might be a giant culvert, honestly, that failed. We're gonna take a look at what we got here. All right, what do we got? Lots of heavy erosion here. So those beams, I'm pretty sure, are gonna be putting in a large bridge. It's a nice river. Got a bunch of culverts. They definitely patched some of this, so the culverts obviously got plugged and the water came up and over, washing it out. Probably impassable. There's 3 culverts now. That one looks a bit high, so this is probably the primary flow. Or maybe those ones are just blocked, because those are near the hole. Are they just blocked? Nope. This one's completely up out of the water. So that means that was probably not primary flow, meaning that only runs during higher flow. Because the culvert is more self-cleaning if you have it all aimed at one culvert, usually. Yeah, they had to cut that section off or break it off. You see the big gigantic coupling? Yeah. Well, during a storm, that coupling probably maybe even came apart itself and all this dirt got washed through it. It honestly looked a lot worse at night, because at night I'm driving with my off-road lights against all the trees, and it makes stuff like that. You can't see it. Honestly, at night I thought this was going to be a much bigger drop, because it's just darkness. It's just like when you have a moose or a deer running in front of you at night. You can follow it probably for miles. You should just shut your lights off and let it run in the woods. With your high beams, it sees the woods. Anything off to the sides is black walls. That's why it'll keep running straight instead of running off. Yes, there are some moose who have learned, I just gotta go for it. Yeah, some do. But you can't see much usually. Look what we got over here. We got skunk cabbage coming up. Last night sleeping was very relaxing. I heard a lot of frogs. And even though it's the middle of May, I'm surprised to see there's still maple syrup tapping up here. We just went by a farm that's burning it off. Maybe they stockpiled some of it, but it looked like the trees and stuff are still connected to tanks that are full. Can you tell how bad this mud is? It's like driving through wet concrete, this whole area. Sometimes the deep ruts will try to pull you, but I'm zigzagging back and forth from the right side of the road to the left, wherever it's smoother. Not many people are out on the roads right now. You'll go hours and hours a day without passing anyone.